Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
You all ready for this? Dun 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 dun.
No. Y'all, just stop.
A sham. Welcome to DBL. Happy Thursday, everybody. Feeling good.
Friday Junior.
Yeah, it is Friday Junior. Shout out to Ira behind the camera over there.
Hey, Ira.
He invented that, and they told us to stop saying that. But
Yeah, that's why I just said it on purpose.
And yeah, once in a while I like to just pull it out because Ira really enjoys it. Really enjoys it. All right. Speaking of enjoying things, how about this story? Sylvester Stallone and his soon-to-be ex-wife Jennifer Flavin, they're speaking out. Jennifer filed for divorce after 25 years of marriage, but soon after, many speculated it was all over a dog. Sly recently got a tattoo of Jennifer covered up with an image of his canine co-star from Rocky. But some speculated that the two were arguing over how to care for Sly's new dog, Dwight. But Sly set the record straight. He told TMZ, quote, "We did not end our relationship on such a trivial argument. We just went in different directions. I have the highest respect for Jennifer. She's an amazing woman. She is the nicest human being I have ever met." And I covered her face with a dog. Jennifer also released a statement saying she will cherish their relationship. However, court documents obtained by TMZ revealed she is also accusing her ex of hiding marital assets that could affect the worth of their estate. All right, this is 3 days in a row with this story. Let's put a button on it. What do we think?
There's any button. I think this is about to get ugly. And
Really?
Yes, because you can start off with like, I wish Erica the best, but I look at the last sentence, Lindsay. Last two sentences were about money. Like, that's what this is about. She's coming for money. They can be as pleasant as they want, but I guarantee you, they both have two bulldogs for lawyers.
I think amicable is like always an interesting word when people are breaking up or dissolving relationships over like decades. It's like, I guess, I mean, you would try to hopefully find the friendship in there, but covering up the tattoo, hiding money, I don't know if I fully believe it, but I do know that people do get petty over dogs. I told Al this earlier that I had an ex that was harassing me about my current bulldog, saying after I got with Colin, I'm going to take you to court over this dog. And I was like, I'm not going to go to court with you, but I'm not going to respond to that text either. So we're just going to see what happens.
Right.
And I obviously never went to court. Here we are 3 years and a baby later.
That's more interesting to me.
What?
Is that I don't know if I dated somebody that was in a custody battle with their dog.
Right.
You know what I mean? With their ex, I'd be like, I don't want that dog in my house.
Well,
I'd be a little bitter. I'd be a little spiteful towards the dog.
Yeah.
No,
It represents her ex.
Dogs are a part of the family.
Yeah, but it comes with a different relationship, so it's a symbol of your relationship, and it's a reason to contact your ex. No, I'm
So you're giving away
I'm
the
breaking
dog.
it off. No, I'm getting rid of you. Yeah.
Sure. I mean, I could respect that. Some people won't date people because they have kids. So if there's a dog situation, I guess for a lot of people it's the same.
I could not date.
Well, I know I have friends that actually drove from Arizona to San Francisco to bring the dog back and forth every 6 months. Mind you, this woman is married to somebody else. That's her ex-boyfriend. I'm like, this is too much.
Absolutely.
And Colin was like, we're not doing that. You're keeping the dog, and I'm done with this conversation.
See, that's a better story. I hope this doesn't escalate and we talk about it again tomorrow. I wish them both the best, Sly and his wife. All right, so speaking of celebrity exes, Olivia Wilde is speaking out about being served custody papers by her ex, if you remember, on stage while giving a presentation about her new film back in April. So speaking to Variety, Olivia called the move by her ex, Jason Sudeikis, quote, vicious, adding he was trying to sabotage her. She said she wasn't surprised by his actions, saying there was a reason she left the relationship in the first place, or at the time, I should say. Jason said he had no idea how she would be served in that way and called it inappropriate. So he said, she got served. I feel like it. I love Jason Sudeikis. I feel like it was intentional.
Well,
I do.
I feel like it was intentional too, but who knows what's happening in people's hearts and minds.
True that.
I will say this because a lot of people get, they do get vicious during breakups, and that has never, I've never truly understood that, because to me, it's like when something no longer serves you anymore, it's taking up a lot of space in your life, and you can't get anything new in if you're holding on to the old. So I'm very much, if someone indicates that they don't mess with me like that, they don't love me like, I just completely block, because I'm like, there's something that I'm supposed to be getting and receiving from somewhere else. So if it's a hard out, then I can get that faster. It's just like life is too short, and I think that people get really stuck in these places.
I think people get stuck though because there's anger a lot of times, and there's revenge a lot of times. Like if you feel like, you know, you took care of this person, helped them pay for nursing school or law school or whatever, took care of a kid, and then they left you for somebody else, you're not going to be like, well, this is you know, disappointing, but I'm going to let you go on. You're like, no, this might get ugly. I hope that now at 45, I'm mature enough to channel my inner Erica. You know, I call you before I have to make any decision. I do. Like she is my guide for a lot of things.
No, don't say that. Oh my gosh. No, don't be putting me
honestly,
in that.
like for my spirit, you really do help me guide a lot of decisions I make, and I don't think I would be able to do that 5-10 years ago. I think I would have been, let's start driving from Arizona to San Francisco.
Oh, man.
Like it would have been.
Well, that's grown up of you
right.
to say that. I feel the same way. Like if someone, you know, you think it's like not a good prank, but to serve someone papers on stage to embarrass them, be like,
right.
okay, how about this? I'm dating Harry Styles. Oh,
one for you.
know?
It's like,
You know
who gets the last laugh?
Yeah. So that one hurts. All right, so speaking of Jason Sudeikis, he may place soccer coach Ted Lasso on TV, but some are calling Ryan Reynolds the real-life Lasso after he bought a Welsh soccer club last year. Now a docuseries on FX looks at how it all went down. Let's watch.
What was the connection between you and Wrexham Football Club?
We had no direct connection. It was just a feeling.
What me and my dad thought was, because Wrexham's red and Deadpool's red.
That's the real reason, sorry.
I think the biggest challenge is the community looking around going, what are these two guys doing here?
Welcome to Wrexham.
Is that the gym?
It will be the gym.
Wow.
Yeah, this needs a little work.
Okay, so earlier this month, Ryan joked that his wife, Blake Lively, wasn't happy he secretly purchased the team for more than $2.5 million. That's, listen, BS. Okay? That's not true. He was filming his whole docuseries and he bought a team and she didn't know anything about it. That's a statement you put out to try to get some media attention. I'm calling BS.
Okay. Well, she may not have known about the intention to buy, and then after, you know, or obviously she knew during the docuseries, but I mean, I know that my husband has come home with some things where I'm like, I thought past a certain amount, we had a conversation about this, nah? Because I could go out and do some things too, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
What specifically?
Well, I mean, recently it was a vehicle, and I didn't know we were in the market, so that was perplexing. And he was.
Rules still apply if it's a surprise.
A surprise for whom?
It was a car for him, Al.
Well, damn, I'm assuming she's on the
It's for
insurance,
us.
too.
It's for us because it's a big car.
I mean, yes, my name is on the vehicle, but it's his car. You know, I only drove it once and I crashed it. It's okay.
Okay.
Like with 100 miles on it. Yeah, that's a different story. Anyway, it wasn't on purpose and I was not being vindictive. But I do think that that happens. You know, people are like, and I respect the fact that my husband is able to make these decisions. It's his money. He should be able to do that. But at the same time, when you're in a relationship, you're in a marriage, I thought we had this code, like if we're gonna make a decision about this much, we're gonna talk about it together.
But what if the car was in another country and you had he had a whole docuseries about it and it cost $2.5 million and didn't tell you? It'd be a bigger issue.
Pennies to these people. These are not like, we're not talking about multi-hundreds of millions. These are pretty rich people. So $2.5 million might be like, you know.
You don't tell? Where are you going? I'm going to, where's Welch?
Say it happened over a bar.
Welchland?
Sometimes deals happen on the golf course. Sometimes deals happen at a bar, right?
Yeah, but I don't buy it. No one's buying what I'm selling. You can just fly to Europe and be like, hey, Blake, I'll be back in a couple days, and I got this camera crew coming with me. Okay, bye.
What? They haven't.
Maybe she was filming a movie too, and she was gone, and it was more of a quick.
Well, maybe they need better communication. All right, whatever. Coming up on DBL, Real Housewives cast member Garcelle Beauvais is speaking out about online harassment, how other cast members and Bravo are banding together to stop the hate. Plus, Vanessa Bryant wins a $16 million lawsuit more than 2 years after Kobe's crash. How does she feel does she feel justice is being finally served?
Closed captioning provided by...
I think it is one of those stories we're all going to be like, what?
So raised you.
Why am I right all the time?
Am I going crazy?
Welcome to another week of Jeff's Mustache. little nervous.
Right? He for sure purchased that just to pay the doctor.
For sure.
We're
But that's what I'm saying. It was
we're talking about because I'm like
probably.
I'm kind of a big ticket gift giver. So like, okay, let's say that the limit at our house, like we discuss any purchase over $1,000.
Yeah.
If I want to get you something nice and it's over that, would you
Right.
still or
But
something?
no,
Let's say it's
something
a
about
I
a
just wanna own
gift.
a
A
TV.
gift is different.
Like,
Like, of course, I'm not going to be in on. If you decided, if my husband decided to go out and get me
Go up and
something that
value
was
and sell and
over
share.
what our agreed upon shared thing, first of all, he would only do that if that was something that I had expressed really wanting. So no, I wouldn't be expected to be a part of that conversation. But if you're going to make a purchase like that for yourself, like I wouldn't have made a purchase like that
Without consulting.
for myself without consulting.
What if
Right.
you come home? You've been on the road speaking for a week. You come home. Basement is totally redone.
Oh, I
but
know.
It was,
I know. It's just like
you could look even without asking you. Like you know this was soup over $50,000. Like brand new everything. You guys can both enjoy the basement, but you had no input.
Right.
How do you feel about that?
Okay, well, first of all, I would feel like some magic fairy contractor who doesn't exist was able to completely redo our basement in a weekend. What land does that happen outside of HGTV? And that's still not a thing. But then also, yeah, I don't know because he's made decisions or like I've made decisions about things and it's like it might be nice, but maybe it's not the most functional. Maybe it's not what I would have done. So to make an investment like that based on what you think, I think it's best just to have a
Let's consult. Don't surprise me with a new floor in our home.
Yeah, don't surprise me with that.
somebody says
It's true.
Welcome back. As you may have heard, Vanessa Bryant won her lawsuit yesterday against LA County. So the jury awarded her $16 million after first responders leaked and shared photos of the helicopter crash that killed her husband, Kobe Bryant, and their 13-year-old daughter, Gianna, in 2020. Vanessa posted this photo to Instagram saying, "All for love. I love you. Justice for Kobe and Gigi." That makes me sad just looking at that photo. Wow. During the trial, we learned sheriff's deputies admitted showing photos to bartenders and friends. They also shared the photos with each other while playing video games. Wow. So Al, I don't know. I think about you all the time, and it got me choked up seeing that picture of Kobe and his daughter. For obvious reasons, but what do you think about this?
Man, I mean, just though you getting choked up, I still, when I'm in your neighborhood, that's when I found out about it. I was at a restaurant around there, and I remember like seeing it, and my person at the time showed me the phone, and I still feel like I just walked around the block like in a haze for a long. I don't react like that to people I don't know. That's just not kind of how I'm wired. So to know that people saw that story and immediately thought, oh, I can show this drunkenly to a bartender that I'm trying to half impress, and then we needed that bartender to be the adult in the room and then make a complaint, or otherwise this would have just circulated until it ended up on some website and was blasted out. The inhumanity is, it seems like it's the point a lot of times with a lot of organizations, and I don't understand why the public puts up with it, because there's no other department, fire department, paramedics, where we deal with this constantly. But a lot of our stories deal with police behavior, and until the public does something about it, this is what we're going to do. We're going to have pictures of dismembered human beings as parlor tricks. It's the I have no words.
You know, I think your reaction, because you were the first to tell me that Kobe had died, and when I Googled it, it wasn't even up yet.
Right.
And I'm like, no, I'm like, Al, seriously, like, are you okay? And then about 20 minutes later, it appeared on TMZ, and I think when you have those types of exchanges, and the world was having those types of exchanges of disbelief, it tells you the magnitude of who he was and his legacy, and why something like this came to a verdict at all. Because the truth is, for every crash scene or something where someone has lost their life, there are pictures still floating out there. And the impact isn't real to people because those people didn't touch as many people as Kobe and Gianna's death did. So it's like, if this sets a precedent for people to think about it based on the fact that he was such a beloved hero, maybe that's a part of the legacy too.
And unfortunately, I think sometimes the only thing people understand is money.
Yeah.
And so if you hit
Most of the time.
LA County where it hurts, where, you know, take money out of their pockets, then people will start reacting differently. I'm so happy that this happened on 8/24. As you guys all know, 8/24 are Kobe's 2 numbers.
Right.
I think this was an extra sign to Vanessa that she should have pursued this through her trauma of losing a kid and losing her husband. She still fought through and she won. And so I think that to see this, you know, this undermines everything that they were doing over there that wasn't savory, when they are the people that are supposed to protect and serve. And they were handing around her picture, like you said, a party trick at a bar.
What if it was your father who had a heart attack in the shower and they took a picture of him at the end of his life when he's most vulnerable? Like the sickness in that.
If people had that mindset in everything they did in everyday life, the world would be a much better place. Think about cutting someone off. Think about every little small thing you do, yelling at someone at the grocery store, yelling at the coffee person.
Right.
Did you need to do that? They have a family too. They might be going through a rough time. You never know what someone else is going through. And just having a family of my own and knowing that that tragedy happened, and then pictures of not only my husband but child were floating around. It's disgusting.
It's unthinkable.
Yeah. Coming up on DBL, Garcelle Beauvais is getting support from her Real Housewives co-stars after her son was attacked on social media. We're breaking it all down next.
Every newscast, we give you updated numbers for monkeypox infections. Nearly 16,000 cases nationwide, according to the CDC, including 402 in D.C., 263 in Virginia, and 431 in Maryland. But these are the total numbers, including old infections for people who are fully recovered and those who are currently infected and contagious. So let's verify, what do we know about how many people are contagious right now? Our sources are the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Dr. William Schaffner from Vanderbilt University, and Dr. Adam Brown, an ER doctor who founded ABIG Health. Let's start by breaking down how long a patient is expected to remain contagious.
The time that the scabs can be there can be from anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks, so it can be a long isolation period.
So how many new cases have been reported in that time frame? In D.C., the number of reported cases has jumped by 200 cases in the last 4 weeks. In Maryland, 330 cases in the last 4 weeks. And lastly, in Virginia, it's 204 new reported cases in the last 4 weeks. As for the national picture, updated CDC numbers show 10,686 reported cases in the last 4 weeks. But our experts emphasize these numbers are just an estimate.
There are still undiagnosed people out there, right? And there may be some people who heal faster than the entire 4 weeks. So you have to recognize that it would be a guesstimate.
So we can verify that according to the CDC, people are typically contagious for 2 to 4 weeks. And in that time period, we've seen hundreds of new local cases and thousands across the country. With Dear Verify, I'm Evan Kozloff.
Welcome back. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Garcelle Beauvais says her son is being viciously attacked online. It all has to do with her ongoing feud with co-star Lisa Rinna and other castmates. But instead of attacking Garcelle, some people have come for her 14-year-old son Jax, who has appeared on the show. Garcelle reposted a message from Jax saying his Instagram account is being spammed with racist and crude comments about his family. He added that he is not involved with the show and just wants to be a normal kid and enjoy his first week of school. Garcelle posted this message to fans asking for them to scream or throw things at the TV, but to leave our kids alone. Bravo also released a statement urging viewers and social media followers to refrain from targeting their cast and their families with harmful rhetoric. Good luck with that.
Yeah. Well, it's gotten to a point where so much of what's happening in society is really starting. I mean, it's a reality TV show, but so many of these things have been insulated and isolated when it comes to being on screen. Now, this was a situation where her son wasn't actively in the scene. He went in to get flowers. I think we have the clip. He went in to get flowers for his mom.
We're out. Love you girls. Bye.
What are you doing here?
Flowers.
Just out
out of here. He's just gonna don't come out of here. Oh my! Don't listen to these ladies. Get the out of here before you get in trouble.
I'm violated for grabbing the flowers. What do you mean? Who violated you? I grabbed the flowers. She was like, "What are you doing here? Out of here!" I was like, "Damn." Erica said that to you. This bitch grabbed the flowers. Are you okay? Damn.
So he's a 14-year-old kid.
That was on the show?
Yes, it was on the show.
And was she saying that? What?
He went to get, his mother was like, oh, pick up the flowers. It was her birthday party. He went to get the flowers, and Erica Jane, said that to him.
Wow.
And then other cast members co-signed and said that it was okay for her to speak to a 14-year-old. Here's at the end of the day, Garcelle Beauvais is the first black Real Housewife of Beverly Hills. You cannot have a 14-year-old child of any ethnicity be adultified in the way that that child was adultified. So the fact that whoever is behind these bots and whoever's behind these comments have co-signed on harassing a 14-year-old child, it wouldn't have been acceptable for anyone else's children in that cast to be come at in that way. One of the comments read, "You better be glad that your daddy is white, otherwise you'd have a knee on your neck." 14, his freshman year, first week in high school, and you're getting those types of messages? Like, I understand that we have a very sick and cruel world, and this is reality TV, and people are very into it, but at the same time, I think Bravo needs to step up and level the playing field in terms of, we will go after you if you are doing this.
Wow. There are so many things I want to say. We're out of time, unfortunately, but from the comment to the people, there's just, we'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
Every year, the federal government adjusts how much money it gives to Social Security and Supplemental Security income recipients. This is called a cost of living adjustment, or COLA, and is tied closely to inflation. Some people on social media are claiming that since inflation is rising so much, recipients will see a large increase next year in their monthly payments. Verify viewer Ruby and other viewers reached out to ask if that's true. So let's verify. Is Social Security's cost of living adjustment expected to be higher than average in 2023? Our sources are the Social Security Administration, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, AARP, and Mary Johnson, a Social Security and Medicare policy analyst with the Senior Citizens League. Annual increases are calculated using the Consumer Price Index, which is based on how much more people are paying for select goods and services. For the last decades, COLA has been around 2% a year, but in the last 2 years, as inflation has been rising, the cost of living adjustment has also gone up. In 2022, it was nearly 6%. The additional money started arriving in January and was the largest annual increase since 1982. The SSA will announce the official 2023 number in October, but our experts estimate recipients can expect an even larger increase, between 8 and 10%. So, yes, Social Security's cost of living adjustment is expected to be higher than average in 2023. The exact dollar amount varies by person, but if the Senior Citizens League's estimate of a 9.6% increase is correct, then the average recipient could get an additional $160 a month. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
This decision by the Biden administration to cancel thousands of dollars in debt for so many people who borrowed for college comes with relief, with skepticism, and with a lot of questions. We turn to these sources for some clarity. How do you take advantage of the program? The Department of Education's website states it will announce further details in the weeks ahead, and that nearly 8 million people will receive it automatically if their relevant income data is in the DOE's system, like for an income-based repayment plan. It's a good idea to keep an eye on mail and email from your loan servicer. Does this apply to current students with loans? Yes, but if they're dependent students, eligibility will be based on parental income rather than their own. How has the cost of college changed over the years? National Center for Education Statistics data reveals the climbing cost of college over the past 50 years. Adjusted to modern dollars, the average price of tuition, fees, room and board at public institutions is up about 230%. The White House cites analysis finding nearly 1/3 of borrowers have debt, but no degree. Do Black borrowers have a bigger debt burden? According to the Education Data Initiative, Black and African American college graduates owe an average of $25,000 more in student loan debt than white college graduates. That's why the NAACP has been among the voices calling for more money towards paying down student debt in the name of racial equity. The White House also announced plans to change monthly payment structure moving forward, update the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, and reduce the cost of college overall. With your Verify, I'm Abby Larico.
Your Thursday deals are here, so get those phones out and scan our QR code and get to shopping.
All right, what do you have for us today, Steph?
Hi Tori, hey DBL Nation, I am so excited to show you these deals today. First up, we've got Savvy C genuine 4-carat TW gemstone bracelet.
Whoa.
We have them in 7 styles: sapphire, black spinal, ruby, garnet, blue topaz, amethyst, and citrine.
Oh, I love that.
They're normally $179, but guess what? We've got them for $39, Tori, which saves everyone at home 78%.
How does Morning Save do this?
Now, Tori, how great is this?
Oh, boy.
It's the Go Wise USA 12.7 quart deluxe air fryer oven with 10 accessories.
Whoa.
You'll make your leftover pizza taste as good as it did when you got it from the shop. Normally, this is $240. We've got it for just $79, saving everyone at home 67%.
I'm making zucchinis in my garden, cut them up, air fry them.
There you go.
Done.
I've got a great bundle here. It's an 18-pack of the good stuff bamboo charcoal air freshener bags.
Oh.
Summer is tons of fun, but it's also pretty sweaty and a bit stinky. So with these, you will fight off the funky smells because they easily absorb smells in and around your home. So normally, this pack is $40, Tori.
Okay.
But we've got them for just $19. It's saving everyone 53%, and you get 18 pieces.
Okay.
18 pieces.
Like $1 a piece.
And then Tori, my must-have of the week is the Laura Ashley Volumizing Blowout Dryer Brush.
Nice.
So this is going to simplify your routine by drying and styling your hair at the same time. This is normally $59, and we've got them for just $20, saving everyone 66%.
Brush, hair dryer, made it for $20. What else do you want? Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices, or you can even just scan the QR code right on screen. It'll take you directly to these products on Morning Save's website. Thank you so much, Steph.
All right, so we only have 30 seconds left. I'm still thinking about that Garcelle Beauvais story because going to her son, I didn't even get there. There's got to be some protection against a 14-year-old child from these creeps and trolls online. Something needs to be done.
But I think that things started on the show. Like, I would not accept that. I would not. I don't know, in that moment, maybe you don't react right away because I'm not good straight away. But, like, when you watch that show back and know that she talked to her kid like that, like, that's a hard line for me. And Kinsley's only one.
Oh,
you're
for sure.
You're not telling my kid to go the F anywhere.
But to have that reach out contact to an underage person it's a big problem that our country's going to face in the future. We'll see you tomorrow.